You walked away, and suddenly she can't stop thinking about you. It's not coincidence, it's psychology, and it's happening more than you realize. Before we dive in, do something for me. Subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. This is where men come to learn truth, not fairy tales, not comfortable lies, raw, unfiltered reality about attraction and power. Now let's talk about what really happens when you move on. Most men think walking away ends things. They think she'll forget. They think she'll move on easily. They're wrong. Here's what actually happens. The moment you stop chasing, something shifts in her brain. The moment you stop being available, her psychology changes. The moment you genuinely move on, she starts losing her mind. And it's not because you're playing a game, it's because you stopped playing hers. You see, when you were chasing, you were predictable. You were the guy who always answered, the guy who always made time, the guy who rearranged his life for her. And that felt safe to her, not exciting, just safe. She knew exactly where you stood. She knew you'd always be there. She knew she had you. And the moment someone knows they have you, the attraction starts dying. Not immediately, but slowly, like a fire running out of oxygen. Because attraction needs tension. It needs uncertainty. It needs the possibility of loss. And when you were chasing, there was no possibility of loss. You were always there, always waiting, always hoping. And she felt it. She felt your need, your desperation, your willingness to accept whatever she offered, and it killed the attraction, not because she's cruel, but because that's how psychology works. We don't value what we're certain we can keep. We value what we might lose. So when you finally move on, when you finally stop chasing, when you finally focus on yourself, her brain does something interesting. It starts questioning, wait, where did he go? Why isn't he texting anymore? Why isn't he trying? Did he find someone else? Does he not care anymore? And those questions create something powerful. They create obsession, not the healthy kind, the kind that eats at her, the kind that makes her check your social media, the kind that makes her ask mutual friends about you, the kind that makes her suddenly remember all the good things she ignored when you were available. This is female psychology at its core. The moment you become unavailable, you become valuable. The moment you stop chasing, you become worth chasing. The moment you move on, you become the one who got away. And that drives her crazy because her ego can't handle it. Her brain can't process it. She was supposed to be the prize. She was supposed to be the one being chased. She was supposed to have the power, but now you've taken it back by simply walking away, by simply choosing yourself, by simply moving on. And that shift in power is what triggers her psychological response. She starts romanticizing the past. She starts remembering moments differently. She starts seeing you through a new lens. Not as the guy who chased her, but as the guy who walked away. And that version of you is infinitely more attractive because that version has standards. That version has self-respect. That version isn't desperate. And women are drawn to that, even when they don't want to admit it, even when they fight against it, even when they tell themselves they don't care. Deep down they do because you became what they wanted all along. A man who values himself more than her validation. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men never get to experience this because they never truly move on. They pretend to move on while secretly hoping she'll come back. They post things on social media hoping she'll see. They date other women hoping she'll get jealous. They're still operating from her frame, still seeking her validation, still hoping she notices, and she does notice. She notices that it's fake. She notices that you're trying. She notices that you're not really over her. And it kills the entire effect. Because real moving on isn't a strategy. It's not a tactic. It's not something you do to get her back. It's something you do for yourself. It's genuine indifference. It's actual focus on your own life. It's real investment in your own growth. And when it's real, she feels it. When it's real, she knows she lost you. When it's real, that's when she goes crazy. Because she can't get you back. Because you're not pretending. Because you've actually moved on. And that's terrifying for her because it means she made a mistake. It means she lost someone valuable. It means she chose wrong. And her ego will fight that reality. She'll tell herself you weren't that great. She'll tell herself she's better off. She'll tell herself she doesn't care. But late at night when she's alone, she'll think about you. She'll wonder what you're doing. She'll wonder who you're with. She'll wonder if you think about her. And that wondering will eat at her. That's the psychology of loss. That's the reality of moving on. That's what happens when you genuinely choose yourself. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't about getting her back. This isn't about making her jealous. This isn't about revenge. This is about reclaiming your power. This is about choosing your own path. This is about building a life that doesn't revolve around her. Because if you move on just to get her back, you haven't moved on at all. You're still in her frame, still seeking her approval, still giving her power over your emotions. And that's the trap most men fall into. They walk away strategically, not genuinely. And it never works the same way because women can sense authenticity. They can feel when you're truly over them. They can tell the difference between strategy and genuine indifference. And only genuine indifference triggers the response. Only real moving on makes her go crazy. Only authentic self-focus shifts the dynamic. So if you're thinking about walking away to make her chase you, you're already doing it wrong. Walk away because you deserve better. Walk away because she's not adding value to your life. Walk away because your time is valuable. Walk away because you have goals that matter more than her attention. Walk away because you're choosing yourself. And when you do that, when you genuinely do that, the shift is undeniable. She'll feel it. She'll notice it. She'll react to it, not because you wanted her to, but because it's inevitable, because human psychology doesn't lie. Because we chase what runs from us, because we value what we can't have, because we want what doesn't want us back. It's not logical, it's emotional, it's psychological, it's real. Let me explain something deeper about this psychology. When you were chasing, you gave her certainty. Certainty kills desire, it kills mystery, it kills the hunt. And humans are wired to hunt. We're wired to pursue what's uncertain, what's challenging, what's not guaranteed. That's in our DNA. So when you remove the certainty, when you remove the guarantee, when you remove yourself from her reach, you activate something primal in her brain. The fear of loss, the scarcity mindset, the need to reclaim what's slipping away. And that's when she goes into overdrive. That's when she starts acting out of character. That's when she starts doing things she said she'd never do. Reaching out first, apologizing for things she didn't apologize for before, trying to make plans, asking about your life, suddenly caring about things she ignored before. And here's the thing. None of this is calculated on her part. It's not conscious. It's instinctive. Her brain is reacting to the loss. Her ego is reacting to the rejection. Her emotions are reacting to the shift in power. She can't help it. Even if she wanted to resist, she can't because the psychology is too strong. The pull is too intense. The fear is too real. And that's why moving on is so powerful, not because it's manipulation, but because it's truth. You're literally becoming unavailable. You're literally choosing yourself. You're literally investing elsewhere. And she feels that shift. She feels the energy change. She feels the dynamic flip. And it messes with her mind because she's used to being the one in control. She's used to being the one who decides. She's used to having options. And suddenly you're not one of them anymore. You've removed yourself from the equation. And that equation doesn't make sense to her anymore. She starts questioning everything. Did I make a mistake? Was he actually the right one? Why am I thinking about him so much? Why does this bother me? And those questions don't have easy answers because the truth is she took you for granted. She assumed you'd always be there. She assumed she could come back whenever she wanted. She assumed you'd wait. And now that assumption has been shattered. Now she's facing the reality that you've moved on, that you're not waiting, that you're not available. And that reality is hard to accept. So she fights it. She resists it. She tries to change it. And that's when you see the behavior change. The random texts, the late night calls, the sudden interest, the jealousy when you post something, all of it stems from one thing, the realization that she lost you. And loss is one of the most powerful motivators in human psychology. We don't chase what we have. We chase what we've lost. We don't value what's guaranteed. We value what's gone. And when you become what's gone, you become infinitely more valuable in her mind, not because you changed, but because your availability changed, your energy changed, your focus changed. When you moved on, you didn't look for another woman to fill the void. You filled it yourself with purpose, with goals, with growth, with self-respect. And that's what made you whole. That's what made you attractive. That's what made you powerful. Not another relationship, not another validation, just you, choosing you every single day. And that's the lesson she's learning now. Too late, but she's learning it. That the man who chooses himself is the man worth having. That the man who walks away with dignity is the man worth chasing. That the man who doesn't need her is the man she needs. But by the time she figures this out, you're gone, truly gone. Not playing hard to get, not waiting for her to come back, just gone, living your life, building your empire, becoming your best self. And moving on isn't temporary, it's permanent, it's a decision, it's a commitment to yourself. And you don't break commitments to yourself for anyone, not even her, especially not her, because she had her chance. She had you when you were all in, and she didn't value it, so now she gets to live with that choice. While you live with yours, the choice to be free, the choice to be whole, the choice to be you. So let her go crazy. Let her wonder. Let her regret. While you keep building, keep growing, keep choosing yourself, because that's what real men do. They don't wait for validation. They create their own value. They don't chase approval. They command respect. They don't beg for love. They become worth loving. And when you become that man, you won't need her to come back because you'll have something better, yourself, whole, complete, unstoppable. Subscribe to this channel right now if you haven't already. We're building men who choose themselves, who refuse to settle, who understand their value. Hit that subscribe button, join this community, and keep choosing yourself every single day. No matter who walks away, no matter who comes back, you keep moving forward. That's power. That's freedom. That's truth.